Jay. I've had OCD since I was a teenager. It's about 12, 13 from what I can, was the earliest time that I can remember. So I've had it pretty much like a good chunk of my life, more than half of my life. And it's been quite, troubling, and it's been hard to live with over the years, but the more I've learned about it, um, I feel like it's more manageable, and I've come up with my own techniques and ways to live with it, basically. So, um, yeah, I'm really into sport, doing boxing and running. I love fitness, and I watch Everton every week, so that's something that keeps me focused. Although it probably doesn't help me sometimes. um, so OCD is like an anxiety disorder, um, where you have like obsessive thoughts, and you have to, because these thoughts keep going around in your head, you end up like doing compulsions to stop them. Um, but that's the like it's not a good thing to do because it just neutralizes the thought and then it keeps going around in your head basically. So my experience with it, like one of my main ones is contamination, and it's probably one of the more well known ones. Um, Obviously where you get a fear of getting sick, getting unwell, and also passing on germs to other people. So you're constantly like thinking about it. So washing your hands, keeping clean, you know, not eating, for me, not eating certain foods. And this is not just washing hands because I like to be clean. This is because I actually, I can't touch a single piece of food. Like even if I just touch like the table now, I wouldn't eat no food. Then I'd have to wash them again. So some people, people are okay to just to eat, even though they're not washed their hands for a few minutes. But if I touch anything in that, since I washed my hands, even if it was a minute ago, I'll wash them again because I'll think down the line of what germs are on it, and if I get ill, then pass it on to other people. Um, so obviously, at the moment, a lot of people are washing their hands because that's the guidelines for coronavirus. But there's something that I've done since I was a young age, and about say January, I've been worried about this coronavirus. So past couple of months, my OCD has been really bad on this side because I've been constantly washing my hands, and I'll still wash my hands more than what a person without OCD is doing at the moment. Because when I'm like looking, say if I wasn't in work, I was just looking everywhere as if that's infected, that's infected, that's infected. So whereas other people wasn't, they're not too fussed to wash their hands and that's it. So yeah, I can never eat food with my hands basically unless I've just washed them. And I'm always looking when I'm out, like thinking, oh, is the germs there, or has that person got germs, or I'm constantly like analysing it. And I won't eat certain foods either before the day before, like I'm doing something, saying going watch Everton or whatever. Like I won't make any food that I think can give me food poisoning, or I won't eat out anywhere, which I don't really anyway. But I won't eat out anywhere the night before somewhere like I'm going somewhere important because I think, oh, I might get food poisoning there. So it's something that's quite on my mind a lot. Um, but another type of OCD is like harm OCD, where you feel like you're gonna harm yourself or someone else. And that's something as a teenager that was one of my like probably bad ones where you think like you see a knife and you think, oh, the thought will come into head like, well, I would just stab like my family with this now. I could just kill them easy. But then I'd be like, well, have I just thought that? And then I'd start doing these like rituals, like whether that's like shutting the curtains like 7 times, or just touching something 7, 8 times, 10 times, whatever the like the routine was that I'd have something for it, and they always change over time. And also I'd think, oh, someone can come and kill my family, you know, if someone breaks in. So if I don't shut them curtains 7 times, someone's going to break in my house tonight and kill all the family, which don't make sense, but to me it does make sense. And it could be even in my car, I'll feel like I've ran someone over when I know I've not, just because that thought's popped in my head. And I'll look in the mirror and I'll be like, I just run someone over then. Like, I know I've not, and I'm thinking, Jay, you just carry on driving, mate. What are you on about? But that thing's in me, then back in my head saying, yeah, you have. And then I'll have to turn around then. Not all the time, but a lot of the time I have to turn around just to make sure. And, you know, yeah, so that's like the harm one, which is, it's quite intrusive, you know. And usually people with OCD, they are the most safest people about, because they worry about every like little thing, you know, and they don't want to do these bad things, so that's why they carry out all these like compulsions sort of thing, these rituals. And then yeah, there's a couple others as well, like responsibility, like always feeling responsible for things, and if I don't do that, something bad's going to happen. And always thinking along the line, or it could be like sort of like a relationship, sort of friendship one, where if I've got a partner, I'll think, oh, do I actually even like him? And I'll start like obsessing over that. Or do they like me, or my friends, you know, constantly analysing friendships and stuff as well. And just, yeah, like just suicidal, where you think sometimes I can get in a bad, I'm not feeling too good, I'll be thinking about suicidal thoughts a lot and obsessing over him and how to do it and where to do it. And I can go dead deep, and that's what I'll think about all day. Like, it won't, at the moment, no, I'm not thinking about it because I feel good, but if something just triggers me to feel low, then I'll start thinking about that quite a lot. So there's different types, there's different things that you can fixate on. Like mine's like a big one. Mine's like the past as well. I'll think about the past a lot. Like my mates say like, oh, how do you know that, Jay? How do you remember that from 8 years ago? I just know, because I need to know, you know. And sometimes I can't accept how things change. Like, someone felt like that 3 or 4 months ago, and why aren't they feeling like that now about me? Like, what have I done to change that? Or why can't I go back to that good moment 6 months ago? And I'll go back in weeks, I'll know. Well, 4 weeks ago I was doing this, 8 weeks ago. I can't believe it's 6 months now. And you know, it's yeah, it's like a catalogue in your brain, and I need to know what's happened in my life, or what's been said. The night before, I just write in my diary like a few things that I need to do for the day, and I'll still get up at like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at the weekend, but 7 o'clock like Monday to Friday. So I'm keeping in my routine, because I was getting up for work at 6, so I thought obviously I don't need to get up that early now, but get up at 7, doing yoga for say 20 minutes on YouTube, and have my breakfast, chill out, and then just go through the tasks that I've got for the day then. Whatever that is, like trying to do online courses for mental health, or reading, watching a film, YouTube stuff, and then when it gets later on in the day to about 5 o'clock, that's when I'll train in my garden. So it keeps in with my routine of when I used to finish work, I go to the gym. So now I'm training. I probably train for like 2 hours just in my garden doing different stuff, or I'll go for a run and then train after it. And I'll just make my tea and then just chill out then, basically. So I've sort of kept a bit of a routine, a bit of normality for myself. I obviously in my life I like to have quite a lot of order. I know what I'm doing, but because obviously I just over the years I've just grown like more matured, and I like listening to a lot of podcasts, and getting different people's like ideas on life, and trying to be more positive and stuff. So I feel like I can adapt more to situations. Although I do find it hard. Like in my old job, my job was to inspect scissor lifts to make sure they were safe before they went out on hire, which is like probably one of the hardest jobs you can do with someone with OCD, because all that responsibility is on your shoulders basically. And at first I found it very, very difficult. But so sometimes in work I'd get asked to do different things, and if I'm halfway through a machine, I couldn't do it, or it'd throw me so much. So, but after time, I just learned how to sort of be a bit more flexible. Um, Although I did find it very, very difficult. Just have a minute to yourself and just think, it's not the end of the world. Like it's all right, you've got to do something different, but like it's okay. Like, it's not gonna like harm me, sort of thing. It's just I need to just come away from my what I'm doing, my routine for a minute, and also just by putting myself in tough situations, like obviously boxing, um, obviously doing that, getting in the ring, obviously taught me that I can beat my anxiety, if you like. So after I had my first boxing fight, that was the hardest thing I've ever done. To start training to help myself get fit, and get me my mental health like better. And I just went boxing. Just I like sparring, getting punched and stuff like that. I enjoyed it, but then fighting's a different thing because you it's all on you then, and you've got to go to a venue and everyone's watching you, and there's no one else to help you. When you're having that fight, that other guy wants to, hurt you as well. So getting for that first fight for me, that was probably helped me like massively in my life to deal with all these situations. So I think I beat that anxiety of being scared to get in the ring in front of a couple hundred people in Doncaster. Went there on a Friday night. It's a long way, and I had 20 friends and family coming to watch me. There's a lot of pressure, but I got through it, got in the ring, and didn't win the fight on a split decision, but that's irrelevant to me. Like when I come out of the ring, I was like, proudest person ever. And so anytime I did something after that, like I had a job interview the Monday after that fight. Luckily, I had no black eyes, but I just thought, well, this job interview is not scary because I've just walked out in a ring in front of so many people. So this is easy to me now, and I got the job, and that's where I ended up working for 4 years. And so every time I had this situation, then I just think back to that fight. Um, Although my second fight, which was 7 months later on a home show, that I was even more anxious for that because it was at home. There was like 400 people say in the room, and like there was people coming from work and all my best mates. And that week, it was a terrible week for me. And on the day of the fight, I went into the gym and said, I'm not fighting tonight. I don't feel well because I felt that ill. When you have a bad cold and stuff, like my body was just gone. And then my coach was like, Jay, come on, you be sound, like you're just anxious. I was like, I'm not anxious. I'm not well, mate. Like I can't do it. And just ring the opponent up now. And in the end, like I stayed with my coach and I went to see the ring in the venue. And although I was so tired and I had no food, once to seeing the ring and stuff, I was just thinking like, I really want to do this. And then he said I can have my Everton song Zcar, so that gave me a boost. And yeah, but I never felt so anxious in my life to walk out into that ring that night. But with the help of my coaches, like talking to me and saying, Jay, you can do this. And I put it into little blocks, like, so I just said, if I can just do one round, then that'll help me. Like, I'm happy. If I get beaten after one round, I give up, I'm not bothered. And that's how I looked at it with my coach. And she just said, you can do this, Jay, you can do it. And then I said, all right, well, I only have to see you twice while I'm in the ring. And she said, what do you mean? I was like, well, I see you twice in the like the breaks, and then the fight's over, in it. And she went, yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. So I did the fight, won it, which is best feeling ever. But then again, I proved to myself that was all anxiety, because the next day I felt okay. So I just proved to myself that I can overcome these obstacles. So I probably learned a lot from my boxing. That's why I can deal with different situations now. Because all these different things we've done, and I've listened to different people, like now I just think, if I really don't want to do something and I feel like it's uncomfortable, I need to do it. Like, the only way I can grow is by doing these things that make me uncomfortable. If I stay in my comfort zone, I'd never have had 6 boxing fights, or done all my running stuff that I've done, and climb mountains and all these other things that I've done the past few years, like doing my blogs and my podcasts and stuff. Like, I'd never have done these things. So now when there's something I don't want to do, I know that I need to do it. And sometimes I don't want to train. Sometimes at night time I think, oh, that thought pops and I want to chill out tonight, and I think, no, you've got to do it. You'll feel better after it. And I probably overtrain me, to be honest with you. Like, I use it as a coping technique, and I probably, I do train too hard, but it's just the way I deal with things. But yeah, I feel like I can deal with these situations a bit better now, and just think, well, I've got to do it, and that's it. Film on YouTube like a year and a half ago, and at first I was so anxious to do it, like all these OCD thoughts, like, what would people say this and that about me, and you start, trolling me and like saying nasty things and what a weirdo. And then I was thinking, what if like the Sun newspaper start like retweeting it and stuff, because personally I don't like the Sun, so I was worried about that. Then I was thinking, bad things about that, thinking, what happens there. And then I just did it, and after that I put it on Twitter and stuff, and then like loads of people was messaging me like saying well done, and then I got messages saying like, Jay, I've got OCD, or my family's got OCD, and that's helped me to understand it more. And actually helped someone to understand that they had OCD themselves, that they thought they was on their own with it. And when they see my video, they realise that they're not on their own. And just had people coming up to me at the Everton matches, like shaking my hand, and halfway through the game coming up to me, like talking to me like strangers. And that gives me more motivation then to think, well, if it's reaching people like this, then, more can be done. So that's what led me to the podcast, because I like listening to podcasts a lot. So started to research on how to set one up, and that's why I've done that. Yeah, as you say, just to help people basically. I'm not sure, to be honest, mate. Just grow the podcast, keep talking about OCD. Hopefully, get people to understand OCD more. That's like one of my aims. As it, it's, people don't really understand it too well, or they use it in the wrong terms. So I want to try and just help people to understand more, and then personally, maybe one day, my career will be in mental health. Like, I'd like to do something around this, because it's something I'm passionate about, and I know quite a bit through personal experience. So yeah, and just keep doing challenges, fitness challenges as well.